Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft, and as we wander around the base here, you probably won't notice that I've done some tidying up. There is so much stuff scattered around the place, chests everywhere. I've been moving things about, taking a step back and realising that everything still looks like a bit of a jumble in this area. Anyway, I hope you're looking forward to this episode. We are going to be working on the witch farm today, but before we get to that, I want to do a little bit of work around the base. Got some ideas rolling around in my head, and I've actually been taking note of where I plan to put all the different things we need in these first few areas. So we've got our green floor at the top, the orange storage area in the middle, and then the one down below. And I've sort of been planning out where things like our mementos and our mob head collections are going to go, and that's led me to do little things like this corner here has been constructed, and considering where our nether portal is going to go. Now, I deconstructed the nether portal a moment ago, and I put the blocks into here when I was sorting out my inventory and completely forgot to rebuild it. I will put it temporarily somewhere in this area. Yeah, anyway, I'm glad I remembered that because that would have been confusing later on when we went to work on the witch farm. We're going to work on the area up here. I left down some signs. Elevator, yes, I think we're going to need like a multi-floor elevator, and I want to put one in this corner and that one over there so we can get to all of the floors. I think what we should also do is aim to put lots of little stairways and ways of getting about everywhere. So in the other corners, we'll probably have little staircases and such to get around. So on this top floor here, we need to add a little bit of depth. I had a fantastic suggestion in the comments, so thank you as always for leaving your feedback, to throw down some carpet here. And the ideal place to put it is probably on top of the other carpet, as it's the same texture. Well, actually, no, maybe it would help. But anyway, this is supposed to throw in a little bit of depth here and there, right? Just to change the height a little bit, make it not feel so flat. And I gotta say, I like that, but there's this really dark side of the carpet that makes it pop a little too much. I'll leave it in there for now and see how I feel about it. But height is definitely a thing we need to figure out on this level because it's all kind of flat, and I was thinking about how are we going to sort of include this build right here and the other things that will be in the area into a floor. And I think what we're going to have to do is build some more circles and build a wall that goes around the back of it. So we're going to have our walkway here, which is the green bit, and then I want to introduce this block right here into the build palette, which I think is going to look very cool, and I've done that completely wonky, basically. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to build a little, like, 2x2... Hang on, that was wrong. A little 2x2 block like that, and I've been messing around with the build style a little bit. I wanted to put, like, a cap on the top of it and then blocks on the side, and I felt like that just looked a little bit ugly, you know what I mean? And we could actually put something a little bit different on the sides. What I would like here is actually to have like halfway slabs that could press up the side of the block. That would look really great, but I think that creates a nice little thing. I don't know what you call that. What would you guys call that? I don't know, it makes me feel like it's a thing and it's there for a reason. But whatever that reason is, I don't know. And I thought it would look really good if it sat on top of some of these blocks. So what we're going to do is create another floor that goes up by one block and it goes all the way around the outside here. So it'll be like this going all the way across, and what we want to do is put things in front of it to break up a big wall that's going to go around the back, and I want that to kind of enclose this area and make it feel less flat, because at the moment it's very kind of flat and open. So luckily for me, in one of the previous episodes, I went back and watched it, I put an image on the screen of the circle generator that I was using, and it gave me the number that I needed, which was 53 up to here. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, counting with a sumo, we're actually going to go one block further back, so it would be 14. If I double that and add it to 53, that gives me the number to make a circle, and that's going to go around the outside here. So on top of here is where these things are going to sit, and I'm not going to try and build it correctly right now. That just gives you a rough idea of what we're looking at. Originally I thought we'd put the wall there because it doesn't sort of rub up against this, as it's going to be made out of stone bricks, but the thing is, this has got to end up being higher than the things that we put in front of it. And that's not the only thing I think we should put as a little decorative feature. So this wall will, no, that's wrong. They'll actually go back by 1 block now, I think. We're going to put it at this bit here, and then it needs to be a lot higher. So let's go up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe there, and then these stairs are going to go all the way around, and that one's accidentally been placed upside down, but doesn't matter because we're just using it for our imagination. That's actually a little bit high. I think I'm going to bring it down by 2 blocks, and then when you look at these things, you'll be able to see what is going on behind it. Now, earlier I said like that this reminded me of something, but I don't know what it does. I think it could emit light. Maybe we could replace the blocks on the corner with redstone lamps, and then that way they bring some light to the floor up here. So a big old circle has been put in place, and I'll tell you what, that flag's got to come down at some point, doesn't it? And then over on this side I've actually been building up the wall and building these things in front, and I now know what they remind me of. They remind me of gongs, because gongs are like big standing cymbals, and they usually have a little frame around them just like that, and of course we've got the circle in the middle. It's very cool, but I think the wall behind it doesn't look so great. And where I've been looking around at this circle, I think I know what it needs. It needs some variation in height. So as we go around, we'll probably just raise and lower certain heights. And all of this is subject to change as well, because you can see that bit there is lowered. And when we build an elevator or something in this corner, we're going to lower this section as well, which is why I've avoided actually going close to that space. So we got this going on over here. And you know what's better than redstone lamps, which I can't craft because I'm out of glowstone, and we'll sort that problem out later this episode, that's for sure. It is sea lanterns. They're a little bit more on the green side, but then I thought, well, why don't we hide those behind some green glass? And that green glass is actually going to be, well, no, the glass is easy to place, but the sea lanterns are going to be a bit of a pain because we've got to go down and then we've got to pillar up to place these and all of that, which is going to be, it's going to be something. And it's daytime right now, so it doesn't matter that they're not there. There was one other thing I was thinking about putting in this area, and that was some tree stub type things. So I had a few ideas. One would be to put down 3 of these and then some trapdoors on the bottom, which doesn't look so great really when you can see through the gaps. And I'm not sure how we're going to fit them in. Maybe they go behind these, like back up against the wall. We'll put a few in. The other one is the classic with the the oak log, or sorry, the dark oak log at the bottom. You can throw some of those on as well. Looking pretty fine. And then I don't know why, but this sort of caught my eye, and I thought maybe that won't look so bad. It looks kind of yucky. I think the brown concrete powder would look really good. So yes, we definitely want to throw a few bushes in here as well. All I can say to that is no, no, no. And taking a closer look, yeah, not very good, is it? I've tried to add in a curve here going upwards. I don't think it's the slope. Like, it could be steeper, this could go higher. It's the way it breaks up and all of a sudden there's a gap there. It just looks awkward. So that's going to go. And I think I just need to brainstorm some more materials to throw into this grey at the moment. And I think we're going to call it there creatively. I do like to get stuck into a project when you've got some inspiration. Like, this has been really fun to put down. And I like the bushes back here as well. We've got the brown concrete powder down there. I always want to say brown powder, not concrete, because it's kind of not concrete at the moment, right? Anyway, it's more like sand, but yes, I think that looks really cool. And then I've gone around and I've tried to put in all of these and I've run out of clay. And that is actually the very last of the clay that I have. We're really low on clay supplies this season, so I need to go and dig some more. And so for now, we'll take a break from this project. If you've got any ideas, suggestions for these walls, leave a comment down below as always. So we are currently in Minecraft 1.12, and that's because halfway through recording this episode, we are updating to 1.12 on Hermitcraft, and we're about to log in, and I don't think we're going to see anything spectacular happen straight away. Yes, that's what I expected to see though. New recipes unlocked, and it's giving me the tutorial. Yes, I know how to play this game, believe me. I'm using my mouse to look around. Hilarious. So I don't think there's a lot of like immediate game-changing stuff in front of us. I mean, crafting is going to be a little bit different. Let's see what we've unlocked so far. So this is based on the things that are in my inventory, right? If I pick this up and put it back in... Aha, yeah, no, it's looked at all of that and given me all the recipes at once. If we go back up the top and look in one of the chests, we can probably unlock a whole load more. Yep, we're going to be seeing a lot of this, aren't we? Every time I pick up new items or put something into my inventory for the first time, we're going to have that in the top right. We might want to disable that, I don't know. We haven't really spoken about it as a group. I just know that everyone's keen on getting on the new update. So this episode isn't really about the new update though. Although we're in 1.12 now, we are going to be working on our witch farm if you haven't figured that out. And we have actually made some progress in this area. So this big lump of land over here has been torched up. There isn't too much more torching to do on the surface in that direction. And down below there have been some caves we've explored and torched up as well. So the rate should be significantly better. Now at the moment, the farm is actually turned off because we're going to make some modifications here. But we can see some witches on the inside. Look at that. That's a good sign. I'm also the only person online right now. And that means we'll probably get some decent rates out of this thing. I'm actually going to go down below and just run the farm for a little bit and see what it's like when I'm the only person online. So the rates are not very good. We're unlocking new recipes. We're going to see that so much for the first few weeks. And I'm a little bit disappointed, to be fair. But I'm thinking what I want to do is get the camera account on and see how the witches act when they drop into the water. Because of course we've got a little water channel up there. And that might slow them down from getting to this drop. But so far they seem to drop down with no problems. Okay, there goes a pack, or at least 3 of them, and they drop into here. This is what I'm talking about. How easily do they get pushed in there? Well, that one went straight down, and then that one... Aha, look, that's what I'm talking about. They're fighting a little bit there. So with a larger group, that might be a bit of a problem. But I guess until we get the rates up in this area, we're not really going to know about it. And that guy spawned on top of the slime blocks, didn't he? And that's a problem we can actually fix. We're going to make modifications to this farm, believe me. I just got my first advancement on the server, peeps. I wish I was recording. It was so cool. Can you guess what it is? It was actually getting diamonds. So if we open up the menu and go have a look, you'll see over here that I've gotten this one. It's also instantly given me that one because I'm wearing diamond armor, which is fascinating. And that one just requires you to mine stone. And smelt an iron ingot. I guess that's probably because I just had iron in my inventory, right? I think actually it might have given me some of these earlier, but I just didn't notice it. Anyway, it's much like the old achievement system. It's not really worth talking about. If you're wondering what I'm doing, by the way, I'm going on a caving expedition to find all the caves, light them up, and try and increase the rates of the witch farm. So we returned to the surface, and I came back here because other players are logging on, and I figured, hey, we're not going to see the results of our rates, so let's come up here and work on the farm. And there's actually quite a few witches here, which is surprising. Or maybe it's because the farm hasn't been running, they've been able to accumulate. But I hit up some caves, there's going to be more in this area, we'll get through them all eventually. But right now we need to make some changes to this thing, and I think the way that we start off is by first of all getting rid of the witches that are in there and then placing some torches inside. So I was hoping I could come along and whack that thing, but actually what we're going to need is a lever. You know what, let's do this the fun and the risky way. If this goes wrong, it's my own fault. Hi, you are victim number 1, and you haven't even thrown a potion. Oh jeez, there's another one! And down you go. That was easy enough. Yeah, I guess there's no creepers in here, so don't have to worry about explosions or stuff breaking. And now we want to go down to the next level. This might be a little bit tricky because they might knock me back. Hi, there's 2 of you. Go in that direction, please. Thank you. It's actually quite easy, isn't it? What am I on about? Oh, I thought this would be risky. Right, and bottom floor has 3 of them. And again, try and knock them in that direction. Now they drink... Oh, they drink their fire potions first, didn't they? And then they drink, like, health ones. So they're actually really not much of a risk at all. That's a pretty interesting view right there, isn't it? And if we're going to make some changes and fixes, one of the first things we're going to need are leaves. And I reckon spruce leaves will look pretty good in this project. And it reminded me as I came over here that there are lots of different spruce trees, different types. And if you've seen my Do You Know Minecraft video, I actually went over all the different types you can find in this game. I don't think I've ever seen one just in survival mode like this before. Look at this little dinky tree right here. I know it's not the most interesting thing ever, but I've never seen it before, I swear. Well, apart from being in creative mode. So during a live stream I took a trip over to the Mesa and I gathered loads of hardened clay to find out that it's been removed from the game and now it's called Terracotta. I don't like that name has changed. I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me, but I'm just moaning. And anyway, I was thinking what we should use is some terracotta blocks, the new coloured ones, inside our witch farm, and in order to do that I needed to pick a colour. That's weird how they've kind of gone so close to one another. We needed to pick a colour, and luckily in the area there were these 2 things, and I think we're going to go with red. So we got some bones from killing skelly butts down in the caves, and we can get loads of dye. So we can dye this stuff up and smelt it, which is pretty cool. And that's just the two things that we need to fix this farm. We need some leaf blocks and we need some terracotta. So I got my leaf blocks and my red glazed terracotta blocks at the ready. This might be a little bit finicky to replace, as we're going to have to rotate ourselves as we put them down on the platform. And the idea here is to replace the furnaces, because they are ticking tile entities, which means they do contribute to lag. And as I've been looking at replacing these various blocks with different things, I've noticed that this over here can be torn out and make no difference whatsoever, right? Like, nothing spawns on top of these, so that's fine. Yeah, and then over on this side it gets a little bit different, because we're going to be replacing some of these with leaf blocks, which means that things can't spawn in this space. So when spiders don't spawn there, it also means we don't need more of these furnaces, because we put them there to stop too tall mobs spawning on top of the furnaces, right? I think. I'll tell you what, we'll start off with the floors and the sides, and then when we get to that bit, I'll explain it when I'm doing it. This has become way too difficult. I've been rebuilding this floor over and over again. It's a real pain in the butt, because you're not just placing these onto a block below, you're placing them onto whatever is around you, so you can't place them in the right order. So I want to double triple check this. Okay, so that one goes forward, this one we place in that direction, the next one goes in this direction here. So then every other block would be part of the same pattern, and then they all go in that direction next. So if I stand here, now why isn't the pattern repeating? I swear I'm placing it the same way I have the whole way along. Oh, I've tried this so many times. You can see the pattern there. It looks really cool, right? I love the dark bits here creating their own little shape in between the lighter ones. So somewhere here I've gone drastically wrong, and it is this bit here. I need to redo it. Ah, I keep going and facing that way, right? And putting them here, which is what that block would be. So I need to take a step back. These ones face that direction. Ah, there we go, there we go. Okay, there's one little strip left to do. So that one would face in that direction, this direction, that one, and then this way. So I think it's literally just like that. Almost got it right, almost got it right. There we go, that's done correctly. Oh, sigh of relief. That took me way longer than it should have done, I tell you. Oh. Well, the next bit is going to get even more complicated when we go over here, but luckily there's another job that is very simple, and that is to simply put some blocks above where these slime blocks are, because mobs can spawn on them. So we're going to put a whole row of leaves going across like this. And so I've gone ahead and replaced all of the furnaces on this side with leaf blocks, and I believe there are still some furnaces here which could be replaced with something else. But for now we're going to leave them alone, because I'm very excited to get this thing up and running. So that's all of the changes on the inside here. Couldn't help but feel that would take me longer. Like, I thought there was something more to do. So I ran around and I've actually finished placing down all the torches. But the best way to see this is at night time and is from above in the sky. There I am, standing carelessly AFK out in the open. Anything could attack me, but luckily we've lit it all up. Let's go into the sky. I think this looks really cool, seeing all the torches and seeing all the light cover the land. And then you can see a big difference over on the border. That is an insane amount of torches. We won't know exactly how many torches in total I've placed down here, but what I could do is look at my statistics. Righty then, let's jump into the menu, go to statistics, down to blocks, times used. And look at that, it's the third one on the list. Wow. I'm kind of surprised to see it that high up, but if you think about it, you do place a lot of these in the game as you go around caving and branch mining and all of that, so I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of those weren't even placed here. But anyway, we've done that job. Let's punch out these lights, let's get this farm running again and see how it runs now. Man, I always tell myself, stop listening to music and just record when you go caving, because fun stuff always happens, but I can't help myself, and I didn't pause the music in time. 3 baby zombie villagers, so probably pack spawned, came at me, and 2 of them drop heads. Now there are 6 different types of these in total to gather, but we just got 2 of them, and they're both different. We got the farmer head and the librarian head. Check me out. Oh, and I got an arrow in my head for dramatic effect, I guess. You can tell when you're getting to the last of the caves in an area because I've just wandered around the corner and found a ton of stuff. There's also a spawner there actually, so maybe... Oh, there's something behind me, that's very bad. Hi. Yep, there are definitely a lot of mobs in this area. I'm not having much luck, am I? Whew, there we go. Okay, okay. This is hectic. It's actually a double spawner, which isn't surprising because there are a lot of them in here. That's pretty cool. It's a shame this is really far away from where the witch farm is though. There's actually a spawner below the witch farm, can you believe it? So now would be a good time to have our big aha moment. I've been trying to lead this episode somewhere and I've been realising that there's an immense amount of work ahead of us. But I think now is the time to show you my plan. So the witches drop down here and we can actually drop them lower down. The lower down we go, it could possibly mean that the witches spawn less frequently up top. I'm not entirely sure. But we can safely drop them lower by adding some more water up above for them to fall through. And if we are to go lower down, as I mentioned a second ago, there is a spawner just down here. Bam. So we could be activating that and having zombies drop into the same tube where we're killing the witches, which I think would be a really cool idea. Just another source of XP and another source of resources, although rotted flesh isn't too much. But this is generally the rate of the farm at the moment, like a couple of witches every 10 to 20 to 30 seconds, which is pretty cool. I'm very happy with that. But there is another thing we're going to do, because we're going to combine it yet again with another mob. So I'm going to walk in this direction, and you might figure this out before I tell you. Okay, so let's see if it enters your brain, the idea, as we make our trip in this direction. I'm going to turn around for a second. What's with this strange big open room, eh? Can you guess what it is now? This is a slime chunk right here, and that is not very far away from where we AFK. Now we would need to be 24 blocks away from this chunk, so it's 16 to the next chunk, so another 8 blocks in that direction. It's about 4 or 5 to here. If we go to where this is, diagonally we're probably far enough away. We could also stand a little bit over to the left here as well. So yeah, we could stand there. We would be directly above where the zombie spawner is to activate that. This thing could be lower down. I guess if it's lower down, that's another factor. But slime farm is going to be relatively big. So in this location, we can have a slime farm and we can feed the slimes into the same tube where the witches and the zombies are going to go. Right? Are you following me? And then it's going to be a 3-in-1 mob farm, the likes you've never seen before. Oh, I'm so excited for it. So there's an extraordinary amount of work ahead of us now, and what I would like to do is start to automate the killing of these witches. I'm not ready to stand here AFK and whack these fellas over and over again, and I would like to keep getting some of the drops, especially that redstone and gunpowder. And look at this, we also get potions as well, like fire resistance, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this little setup here doesn't actually work. Is there a witch standing there? I should wait for another one to drop down. So the big problem here is that the witches, they ain't taking no damage. Think about it. Can you hear any sound? Nothing. Because they're standing on this block here, they won't actually be crushed by that one. Which kind of sucks. And I didn't want to leave that there, and now they're probably going to throw their potions at me. Right, anyway, I got the sticky piston. So what we could then do, of course, is put it at this height up here. But the problem is that push and pull isn't going to be fast enough to kill these witches. We need it to crush them for a little bit longer. So we can actually modify this circuit that I made over here quite simply and put this in a different position. So we're going to start off with a torch there, and then our output is going to be a torch here which has the piston in front of it. The way that we're going to change the on and off of this circuit is by adding a couple of comparators. This is a very neat and tidy little circuit that we got right here. So we basically create a decay clock that kind of plugs into that. And now you can see the torch will stay on for longer, then it will turn off for 4 ticks and it will come back on again. So if we just attach this sticky piston, no, you're facing downwards. That is the wrong way to face. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going to have to jump, aren't I? Bam. There we go. So those ones have been there for a while and probably drunk loads of health potions. So I'm going to kill them, and then when the new ones jump down, they should get crushed. Now there is a slight problem, is that they can land on top of that block, and that means they take less damage. But in theory, hopefully this will be able to crush them once they've made their way to the bottom. So now I'd like to introduce to you something that I've only thought of and not even built a pilot version of or anything like that. You see, we have one block here that needs to pick up a lot of items. At the moment it's just witches when the farm isn't even efficient. In the future it will be zombies and it will also be some slimes as well, right? So a lot of items are going to come through here and we're going to have a whole system to sort it out. But we're going to start off with, let's see, I think we're going to have our chest array. Actually, it needs to go one block lower. So now I'm a little better prepared. We've got our chest array right here. And this is going to temporary because we're going to be moving this around. But I want to AFK here and collect a ton of drops. So we're going to have hoppers like that. Then we're going to have 3 at the front here. 3 again. And 3 at the back. And that is pretty cool. Nice little grid that we got going on here. Right, the next thing to do is to craft some minecarts and then craft some minecart hoppers. Oh yes, you've probably got an idea what we're doing now. We're going to put down some tracks and shove these things on there, and 4 of them will be able to take items from the central block, although possibly different sides of it. We'll see how this goes down. So we put this on here, we give it a little bit of a nudge. And there's a reason that the glass is there, by the way. We break that, and then we just nudge it again. We nudge it into the corner, the only place it can really go. And we push it in as far as we can. There we go. So now that should, in theory, be taking items from where the witch is, and then taking them through here and down into these chests. So, let's kill that witch and give this thing a test. Come on now. Play along. Jeez, I can't quite hit her. There we go. So we take a step back, and it could be that this isn't picking them up from that side, or possibly that this isn't high enough and actually needs to be on another block. I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't tested this at all. The good news is this definitely works. The bad news is that these minecarts are actually nudging each other, so I thought that they would get pushed right into the side of the glass on each side, but actually they pushed the other ones on the outside out. So an alternative idea would be to create a ring of glass and push all 4 of them into the middle of that and hope that they spread out. Because what's happening right here is that these are taking from the block in the middle and then they're distributing them to 4 other hoppers. And these can transfer items very, very fast. So that way, with a lot of drops here, we move them down into these chests very quickly. It might not be quick enough though, I don't know, it's just an experiment. But one thing I've noticed, and you might have noticed, is that these witches are getting killed very slowly, which I wasn't too bothered about, but then I had a thought, and that thought was that it means that they're taking up the mob cap while they're down here not being killed, so maybe we should try something else. Hey, look at that, a slime spawned in our slime chunk. That is a great sign. Well, this idea didn't work. You can see that the witches are in the lava blade. You can also hear the witch farm because it's just above me. So that means that we need to drop them even lower down before they get to the lava. And what lava will do is reduce the fall damage. So if I'm going to include this as an option to help kill them, it needs to kind of be redesigned in a big way. So if we lower the lava blade so that the witches fall through it, it reduces their fall damage, so when they're on the other side, they're going to land here and actually have more health, even though they're on fire. So this is kind of our best option for now. I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't think of something more effective. I'm sure you guys will leave a comment telling me something more effective. But that's going to collect loads of drops for now, and I'm going to AFK in the area. And I also have another little clip to show you this video for something that I did in the middle of a live stream.
Alright, go to the... east.
East?
Fly to the east. Fly to the east, yep. I'm in your head, by the way.
Oh, you're spectating, are you?
Yeah.
Am I going to see something amazing now?
You are.
I hope.
Oh, I wonder what this could be. I'm flying east. I'm seeing the Titan. Is it beyond the Titan near the sheep?
A little bit past the Titan, yeah.
Okay. Nothing so far.
Go down, straight down, look down. Look down. Nope, turn back to the right.
Where is he?
Hi. What's going on? Wait, what is this?
Flying those sheep around.
That's right.
Hang on. So you've now mastered the ability to fly and latch onto a fence post.
Right.
And how did you get on the pig? Did you like right click on it when flying?
We flew him there. I flew him there.
I did no flying at all. Tango completely took me from the ground to here and
man.
left me here.
Oh man, can you do that for me?
We could try. Well, we actually got to end the stream. I got things I got to do, but
Oh man.
Oh, that's kind of amazing.
it was. You see that dirt pillar there? That just off to the right of your screen there?
Yeah, I see it.
Not
was,
that one. The other one to the left, but it doesn't matter.
That was
that
our
one.
starting point.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
We
Okay.
jumped from there with the ladder. We climbed the ladder with Zed on the sheep. I pulled him up
Pig.
there.
Pig.
Pig, whatever.
Little baby zombie
We
fella.
launched off of there, and we flew, and I hooked him onto the. It's all my rooster booster training came into effect there.
Man, that is seriously impressive.
You should have seen it, man. It was amazing.
So skillful.
These witch sounds are hideous, but they're also the sounds of drops. And we're getting a few coming into the system. So this thing works, but we'll probably improve it. And now what I'm going to do is stand back here, turn off the sound, I'm sick of hearing those witches, and we're going to AFK and get loads of drops for the next one. We're going to end this episode with a poll. Do you like the sound of the project, combining the witches with the slimes and the zombies all into one crazy XP farm? I love the sound of it myself, and if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave your vote on the poll as well. Thank you for your feedback and your engagement, and I will see you in the next episode. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.